Suma's POV. One more day and night of travelling passed before we were able to rendezvous with the ship home. Jake carried Von Pack after summoning Chariot on the shore, and we all flew to the boat during the last night. Then the captain of the Sea Flyer ordered a course for the kingdom. I stayed by Von Pack the whole way, administering aid as needed until he finally awoke and stayed awake. "Where am I?" Von Pack asked, rattling his feather as he picked himself off the floor. We were below deck with Jake, Lorik, Second Lieutenant Datahu, and Captain Kiguales.
"A ship, on the way back to Ambos," the captain said. "What do you remember?"
"How are you, Von Pack?" I asked.
"Suma? What? Is this real?"
He was woozy. His besmeres flickered slowly and erratically.
"We rescued you from the Southern Union prison, got you off the island and healed your wounds. Mostly,"
Datahu explained, and looked down at his claw, which was missing one of the talons. I did not know how he lost it, but it must have been either when he was captured, or during his imprisonment.
"I'll fix that for you later, after you've rested a bit more,"
Jake offered.
"What?"
he asked, confused.
"Von Pack, I need you to focus for a moment,"
Captain Kiguales interrupted.
"You sent a dragon message to the Queen, do you remember?"
Yes, I remember."
He shook his head and rubbed his head and eyes lightly with the third joint of his wing.
"What was the message?"
We all waited with held breath, fearing the worst. Dragon could have very well just been a threat level, not necessarily a warning of the Chaos Dragon.
"I found out that the SU were going to invade the island of Taldra and use it as a staging ground to attack the kingdom. Only a simple message could get out in time, so I had to hope you would send a squad to investigate."
"When will the attack begin?" the captain asked.
"According to what I heard in the prison, and what I learned from some informants and spies before the invasion, 3 months.
I actually breathed a sigh of relief. How silly is that? Von Pack gave me a strange look.
"We'll worry about it when we can,"
Jake said, sounding rather unimpressed.
"What? Did you hear what I just said? The kingdom is going to be invaded by enemy forces in a mere 3 months, Von Pack shouted, both bewildered and upset. "We have more pressing issues, but the Queen and her advisors will be informed and preparations will be made. For now, Von Pack, just rest and recover," Datahu said. "Sentinel, you mentioned you could heal his claw."
Jake nodded.
"Zachariah's memories taught me how."
"Then do so once Von Pack is strong enough."
With that, the lieutenant and the captain left. Lorik looked between the door and Von Pack, then simply said,
"Your family are doing well,"
and left too, leaving Jake and I alone with him.
"Can you really heal my claw, Jake?"
Von Pack asked, after a moment of silent waiting.
"Yeah, but it hurts, so be aware of that."
Jake was sitting down against a nearby crate of cargo. Being in this room was odd. No matter how much the ship lurched, neither any of us nor the cargo ever shifted more than a head feather's length.
"After the last few weeks, I do believe I have gotten rather used to pain."
"What happened to you, Von Pack? Why were you on Taldra? You were a specialist when we met, but now you are an ambassador?" I asked.
He sighed, and Jake interrupted. "Suma, let's leave him be for now."
No, it's fine. A lot has happened since basic training, even before the last few weeks."
Von Pack went on to explain what happened to him since then, and what happened to him before and while he was in prison. After training, he and Vindica wanted to get married, a rarity for Nume and Ambos. However, his father disapproved of the marriage, and of the child they had together 3 months later, which left the child nameless. Von Pack decided to undergo training to become the next head of the family in order to sate his father's wishes. In trade, his father would arrange a naming group for his child. Part of this training involved the tradition of spending a year as a cultural liaison. Though this would normally be with another noble lineage, this time it was with another kingdom. He asked Lorik, whom he had kept in contact with after basic training, to take care of his family while he was away.
"So you did it all for your wife and child, huh?"
Jake asked. "Indeed. However, in truth, I doubt if my father will honour his end of the deal and arrange a naming group for my child before it is too late.
Too late?
Giving a child a name has greater effects the younger they are. Royalty are named before they even hatch, and nobles usually receive names the day they hatch. Receiving a name as a child can change the flight of one's life forever, I explained.
And your father is going to try and wait until the last moment to spite the child?
Jake asked, annoyed. I would not put it past him. His reaction to hearing that I'd wed a commoner was intense, but I expected that much. Then I saw something in his eyes, an idea. Jake, could you do it? Name my child, just as you did Vindicta? Jake stared at him for a moment. He seemed sad, but nodded his head.
Okay. Is it a boy or a girl?
I do not know. It was unhatched when I left, but by now it surely is. I cannot wait to meet them and see Vindicta again.